Alrighty, it's Wednesday, so let's get to the Wednesday Q&A edition. Remember, if you want to have your questions answered on Mondays and Wednesdays, tweet your questions to @OTRSCentral using hashtag OTRSCentral as part of your question. Every Friday, I do the Facebook Friday Q&A, which means you go to the Facebook fan page for OTRS Central, post your questions in response to the status of that week. That's usually posted on Thursday. That asks for your questions. Very simple. So, all right, let's get started. Steph McCrae asks, which tag team had the best breakup storyline or feud in WWE? I'll always go with the Mega Powers. I love the way that the split up of the Rockers happened, but when in doubt, I'm always going to side with the Mega Powers. Sorry. BW Roses asks, do you think the Bella feud is just a way for the WWE to build towards a future Cena-Bryan 2 match down the line? Not particularly. Because they really have never even acknowledged, to much of a degree on WWE television anyways, that Nikki Bella and John Cena are an item. That's part of the whole ridiculousness of Nikki being involved with her own thing, yet seeming to show no concern for the fact that her boyfriend, her man piece, just got completely dismantled Sunday at Summerslam by Brock Lesnar. No, I don't think that'll be a pathway towards Cena Bryan 2. That would almost make too much sense for them to do something like that, and they've never went there, so I don't see why they would. Bauer24 Power asks, do you think the IC title has the chance to become the top tier title on SmackDown with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship mostly on Raw? I guess in theory it could be, but it's not exactly really a top tier. It's a shame because in a way you could argue that maybe it should be, and it could be, and it would help that show, but I don't really know if any of those other mid-card or lower-tier belts are really going to become a top-tier belt on SmackDown. WashCash81 asks, what are you and Smokey's favorite Mark Henry moments in WWF and WWE? Obviously, our favorite Mark Henry moment of all time is when Mark Henry beat Randy Orton's ass at Night of Champions 2011 to win the World Heavyweight Championship. That will always be the top moment. Then at the next pay-per-view, he beat his ass again. That'll always be top moments in our mind. Lots of other ones, I suppose, but those would be two that rank right up there. They have to rank right up there. Dexter C73, as the WWE boxed itself into a corner with its $9.99 price, does it prevent an increase in the near future? It's an interesting take, and I don't think you're off the base that much. They keep emphasizing $9.99 so much, and they're so stubbornly behind that price point that may have slightly undervalued the product that they were offering, that they're going to have a hard time raising that initial price point in the future. What they're going to have to do, perhaps in order to make more money, is do what most cable and utility companies do, and that's one price for newer customers and a higher rip-off price to your existing customers. And that's how it's going to be. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see for a new subscription, if you get $9.99 a month, and if you are a current subscriber, you will get $14.99 a month, and you have to start playing the game like it's a cable or satellite company and threatening to drop it and cancel your subscription, and then that way you could get the lower prices. I think the WWE is boxing themselves into a corner in a bad way based off of desperation, frankly. Junior 148-56792. Do you think WWE should start their own porn site with a bunch of CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Dolph Ziggler matches? They kind of have that. It's called the WWE Network, and it's only $9.99. But the thing is, why pay $9.99 for porn when porn is so readily available for free all over the interwebs? The same. Jamie NSNZ. Why doesn't WWE do outdoor pay-per-view events in the summer? I love WCW, Hog Wild, and Sturgis. WWE should do something similar. Jamie, one thing, unlike WCW, maybe WWE could actually charge people to get into the event. But yes, in general, I agree with you. They should do an outdoor event every summer, most notably at SummerSlam at the very worst. I can't believe that they don't. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's stupid that they don't do an outdoor pay-per-view event in the summer, and in particular, Summerslam. Mark Lyons Jr., 5 wrestling moments that didn't have but should have had Jim Ross commentating. Let's see here. The Mega Powers exploding. Shawn Michaels super kicking the hell out of Marty Jannetty. Hogan body slamming Andre at WrestleMania 3, perhaps. What else? What else? What else? Shit. Maybe Terry Funk winning the ECW Championship at Barely Legal 97. And this is a good one. I got to think of other big key legendary moments. Maybe the streak ending at WrestleMania 30. Because God knows that match could have used any number of things in its favor. Maybe Jim Ross commentating should have been one. Jack Dunn 93 asks, was Lesnar versus Cena the most one-sided championship match in WWE history? No. Kevin Nash versus Mr. Bob Backlund was, because that lasted all of like 9 seconds. Or 8 seconds, whatever the hell it was. That's a little more one-sided because it was shorter. But Lesnar versus Cena was a squash match, period. Troy Sports 1. Will WWE ever have a King of the Ring event again? I doubt it. Because it seems like certain people within the company think it's a stupid concept because those people within the company are stupid themselves. Black Zach 41. Do you think the only legitimate way to have Lesnar drop the belt would be for Batista to return and beat him? Now, let me get this straight. And I'm not trying to be a dick here, but let's be realistic here. They had Lesnar go to such a degree to squash the guy that had been at the top for almost a fucking decade that now Batista, who before he left got beat several times by John Cena, and in the process of coming back, let's recap this, did win the Royal Rumble but looked terrible doing so, beat Alberto Del Rio, got tapped out by Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, and then 8-2 pinfalls in matches against The Shield. How is that legitimate to have Batista come back and win the belt from Lesnar? I mean, seriously. Hell no. Is that a feud that they would do if Lesnar's going to keep the belt for a while? Absolutely. But, yeah. That doesn't make legitimate sense at all. Burn Notice 3216. Will Dolph Ziggler make more money per appearance on the indie scene? Probably not. I'd have to assume that Dolph Ziggler is probably making, low 6 figures a year. So why would he want to sit there from a financial standpoint and go to the indie scene? Unless he went over maybe and worked at Japan full-time, and I'm not even sure how much he would make doing that. But he's going to make more money working ROH and other independent shows? No, I don't think so. Piznik64. Should Brock Lesnar hold the title longer than WrestleMania, like surpassing CM Punk's 434-day title reign? Oh, Piznik. If anybody thinks that's a good idea, then God bless them. People were bitching about The Rock not being on TV every week as the champion. And I think in part, yes, that was because he beat so many people's golden bitch boy CM Punk. And now where did that get you? But, people were bitching about Rock not being on the show every week. And he only carried the belt from Rumble to WrestleMania 29. What the fuck would the company do with a part-time Brock Lesnar holding the belt for over a year? Fans that think they wanted this so damn bad, even they would start to be bitching about it, and they'd start to say this is out of control and this is ridiculous. Should he hold the title though longer than WrestleMania? I think it's stupid if he does. Frankly, I thought it was stupid in the way it was done when it was done to give him the belt like they did. But it's happened now, so you got to make the most out of it. No, I don't think he should carry it past WrestleMania. Javier Artabo, easy for me to say, asks, was Lesnar versus Cena a great match in storytelling? Not particularly, no. Look, the match felt different. And I know a lot of people got their jollies off to Lesnar kicking the shit out of Cena for 15, 16 minutes, and that's great and terrific and all. But we're also talking about a Lesnar who, even though people are going to point out that when Triple H beat him, there were weapons involved. When John Cena beat him, there were weapons involved. But yes, those guys were still competitive in their matches, and they still found a way to beat Brock Lesnar. And never mind the fact that Brock Lesnar could use those same weapons as well. It's a clear distinction that many knuckleheads aren't getting. Same guy, I believe, that also needed help to beat CM Punk, if I remember correctly. Now he's sitting there, a guy in John Cena who beat him the last time he wrestled, now all of a sudden can't handle him at all. It's all of a sudden like Lesnar beat the streak at WrestleMania. That makes him unstoppable. You know, I don't think it made for a particularly good match in terms of storytelling, because what is that saying about the WWE, that the guy that has dominated for almost a decade got taken out that easily by a guy who wrestles once every 4 to 5 months? A guy who's just as noteworthy now for his time in the UFC. It was not good storytelling. I mean, I'm glad it wasn't a traditional match in a way, because it did feel different, but different is not always necessarily good either. And in this case, what story did it really tell? The only people right now that are saying that that match told a really good story are the people that wanted to see, selfishly, John Cena get the shit kicked out of him by Brock Lesnar. That's it. That's the story it told for them. Any other spin or any other bullshit anybody else is going to put on this, the fact of the matter is, John Cena getting his ass kicked was the only story that they cared about, and that was a story that they got, so that's a story that they liked, and they think that transcends everything else. But from a pure storytelling standpoint, I think it was the drizzling shits. I mean, again, the guy who wrestles part-time, once every 4 or 5 months, just completely squashed the guy that last time he wrestled, he was beat by. The same guy that lost to Triple H at WrestleMania 29. Now all of a sudden, because he beat the streak, this guy is some fucking unstoppable monster, and to the point where he's squashing the guy that's been the guy for almost a decade. No, that's dumb storytelling, really bad. The real Don East. Does it have to be the real Putin when it comes to Rusev in the storyline? Can it be an impersonator like Clinton at WrestleMania 10? No, it needs to be the real Vladimir Putin. We got to have a real payoff on this. I mean, they've been mentioning Putin for so long. I think he's starting to get some babyface pops. I don't think I'm alone in saying I'd like to see Vladimir Putin on WWE television. It would be controversial. It would be interesting, to say the very least. But it would feel like the only appropriate, necessary payoff for what Lana and Rusev have been doing. And that's just my opinion anyways. Thanks again to all of you guys that submitted your questions for this Q&A. I should be back Friday with the Facebook Friday Q&A. Make sure you check out the SummerSlam 2014 review, and I hope you're happy with that show. Thanks anyways. Stay tuned all week long for more content here on OTRSCentral. See you later.